Welcome back to the Last Night's Game podcast. I'm your host, Amy Butchon Siegfried. And if you are headed into Super Bowl weekend thinking, I don't have a team, I don't know the players, I just want to sound like I belong at the party, you are in the absolute right place because we have the fashion, the music, the commercials, and just enough football to make you dangerous. In the best way, of course. And here to share all of his insights with us is my favorite podcast co host and brother, Scott. Scott, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you for having me on. Every day is the Super Bowl on the Last Night's Game podcast.
It's true.
But today we are giving you all the conversation starters around the big game. While the Seahawks and Patriots are playing on the field, this has become such a pop culture and event that everything off the field actually ends up becoming the major storylines. So we're here to break it all down for you and give you the chance to succeed in your Super Bowl party conversations.
So I have to ask,
Yes.
do you like to go to a Super Bowl party?
It's going to sound lame, but not necessarily. More of a small gathering just so we can watch the game.
Yeah. Like we don't go to people's houses. That is a thing for us. We're like, I want to watch the game. I want to watch the commercials. I want to watch the halftime. I really want to watch the commercials and the halftime the most.
Mm-hmm.
But like we make like our own junk food, like our own nachos. We have our own bathroom. I don't have anyone to talk to me. Everyone has to be quiet during the halftime show because I have to sit and watch it. But like, I don't like to go to parties because I want to be able to yes, it's what we do, but because
Yes.
it's such a pop culture moment now that there's so much more happening that you have to have conversation around. It's kind of like watching a series and having someone talk to you the whole time. Like you need to know what's going on because you need to be able to reference it.
Yeah, and that way you can hear everything, all the commercials. And
Mhm.
when you're binge watching your favorite Netflix show, you wouldn't want someone talking in your ear the whole time. So this is our equivalent.
That's right. This is our equivalent. I'm same, but like Reagan also does not like to go to Super Bowl parties. Like we want to watch the game.
Mm-hmm.
And so the tiny human just has to figure it out. It's fine.
Or throw a zone.
Or throw that's probably more likely. So start us off. We're at a Super Bowl party. What is a go-to conversation starter with football fans?
Quarterback storylines people love.
And what I love about the Super Bowl is it really like the statistics they don't matter overall. But knowing just a little bit about the game and enough to make you dangerous is so important. So start us off with Sam Darnold, the quarterback for the Seattle Seahawks. He was an NFL castoff and now is a Super Bowl starter. So he's just proving everybody wrong.
This is the ultimate redemption story for you here. If you could have a redemption story for a number 3 pick in the draft. So he's been written off by the Jets, the Panthers, the Vikings. He had a stint as backup for the Niners, and he found success now in Seattle. And so he's, in a weird way, trying to prove everyone wrong, even though he was such a highly touted quarterback coming out. So it's kind of a cool story if you're rooting for an unusual underdog.
Well, it's kind of interesting, yeah, because like you said, he was drafted so high. He's the first USC quarterback to start a Super Bowl, which is kind of cool because they have the most drafted quarterbacks ever from USC. So he's set this precedent, right? If on paper he looks like had this phenomenal career, but he's really been passed around.
He has. And there's so many highly touted quarterbacks taken in his draft, big names everyone knows, like a Josh Allen or Lamar Jackson. And through his journey with all these teams, he's actually the first of this class to make the Super Bowl as well. So he's kind of a trailblazer in that regard that no one was really expecting. And it's nice to see someone have to go through so much. And, that's kind of everyone's life, right? Every day we're all
Right.
battling things. And you think that this star quarterback, multimillionaire, and he's still battling for respect and to, prove everyone wrong.
Yeah, it's so interesting to me. But one of my favorite things about Sam Darnold, we don't want to overshadow his talent and what he's done to be here. You sent this to me last week and I was laughing reading it. The pop culture, give us the best pop culture nugget about Sam Darnold.
By far the best pop culture nugget about Sam Darnold and probably this entire Super Bowl is that although smoking is bad, his grandfather was the iconic Marlboro Man back in the day.
Like in the 70s.
In the 70s at the peak when people were getting Marlboro rewards and getting jackets and things like that. His grandfather, Mr. Dick Hammer, was the face of Marlboro.
I mean, an iconic man with an iconic name, but he's also an Olympian. Like, it's not like he's just some actor who showed up on set, sort of like Ronald Reagan was, just happened to be an actor and a president. This
Yes.
man was an actor, but also was an Olympian,
He may be the manliest man ever.
possibly.
Olympian, I think he played volleyball at USC. I think he was also a firefighter. So
Mhm.
he's basically got every
Like
male.
a feather in his cap, as you will, or
Yes,
whatever, yeah.
absolutely. So Mr. Hammer set the bar high for Sam. That's
Well
nearly impossible to achieve that too. So now he's trying to live up to his grandfather, which
well, I was gonna say,
yeah, it's,
his grandfather, I think, went to USC as well, right?
yes,
And so
yes.
so did Sam, so he's got some big shoes he's trying to fill for Mr. Dick Hammer, so it's a great story. I think it's just you you never know what is happening for people. So, on the other side of things, talk to me about Drake May. He is very young, very early in his career.
Hmm.
He's obviously like nothing motivates you like being underestimated. And so talk to me about Drake May. He's the quarterback for the Patriots.
He is the quarterback for the Patriots. A little underestimated. He did go to North Carolina, which has had some, quarterbacks drafted, but not necessarily a powerhouse, like in Ohio State or, Michigan or schools like that. And he was actually the quarterback taken after the Belichick era left the
Okay.
Patriots. And now, of course, Bill is now coaching at North Carolina, where
He never
where he played football. So it's kind of a weird full circle moment there. And Belichick was openly critical of him coming out of the draft when, throughout that whole process. So it's
interesting.
kind of you know, a middle finger almost.
Yeah.
And of course, we've seen that Belichick was not elected to the Hall of Fame in his first chance. So there's a lot going on that side of the football world.
Yeah. So it's and like just to give people context, he's in his is this his second season or his first season? Second?
I want to say second.
Okay, yeah, I think it's but Drake May is like up to be he's a finalist for MVP
Mhm.
for the whole league. I mean, like, he's had a phenomenal season. He's a phenomenal football player and has adapted very well from college into the NFL, and we can talk about his head coach later in the episode, but after we talk about the Kardashian Super Bowl commercial,
Of
but
course.
very important. But he's a phenomenal quarterback. He's had a great season, and he's married to his high school sweetheart. Like, there's some things that you just really wanna cheer for him for, like, his head coach basically said he's not that good, essentially. And yet he's like, once again, "Screw you. I'm gonna take my ball and go to the Super Bowl." I mean, I know, Bill, you've been to 7 or whatever. You've won 7.
Mhm.
This is the first time the Patriots have been to a Super Bowl since the Tom Brady, Bill Belichick era too, so it's a whole
Yes.
different vibe. So if you weren't a Patriot if you don't like the Patriots, like, this is a different vibe. Same owner, but different everybody else is different.
Yeah, and everyone has that image of the Patriots, winning all these Super Bowls throughout the years, and this is a totally different revamped version. I'm sure people were tired of the Belichick Brady era, and this is kind of refreshing version of it. So kind of forget the past, and you can embrace Drake May.
Right,
And
well
I think one way to do it is he credits his mother as being the best athlete in the family and a family of athletes. He credits his mother. So,
well, they do say that kids get their, like, maybe not athletic prowess,
mhm,
but, like, their athletic, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, essentially, like, your children are watching your not your genes, but, like, your children are watching your drive as mom
mhm,
and what you're doing and how you're taking care of yourself. So, like, I'm very mindful of that when I make sure that when I work out and do all the things that I do and how I
mhm.
speak about my lack of athletic ability, but how important fitness and all those things are, and it's like you
Yes.
take that from your mother, and so it's really interesting to see that he has following his mom's footsteps in that case.
Yes, and especially when he has brothers that played basketball in North Carolina, hit big shots, won national championships, and yet his mother is the star.
Yeah, I mean, North Carolina is a huge basketball school.
Yes, and the big sports fans may remember Luke May from back a long time ago, hitting big
Yeah.
shots and winning championships. So a throwback for those weirdos like myself who know these ridiculous things.
That's why we love you, though, but you're also a North Carolina fan, so that's, of course, why
Yes.
you know these things. Now, the thing that we're really tuning in for is the halftime show.
Hmm.
Obviously, there's the football piece of it, and we love the stories, but Bad Bunny is rolling into this halftime show, and they're the internet is buzzing with who will be his special guests. Last year we
Mhm.
had Kendrick Lamar, Serena Williams made a little debut. She's also going to be in a Super Bowl commercial this year for Roe. But I'm so intrigued. Cardi B is the leading favorite to be a special guest in the halftime
Mhm.
show. But her man, her baby daddy, Stefan Diggs, plays for the Patriots.
He does, so there could be a conflict of interest there. They do share a child. Cardi B's become great friends with Robert Kraft, as we've seen, sitting in his suite and hanging out. So maybe, anything's possible. I don't know this, so I'll ask you, do they have a song together?
They do. I think
Okay.
I like it. I gotta find the name, but yes, they do have a
Okay.
song together. Cardi B and Bad Bunny do have a song together. So that's kind of why the internet is buzzing that she's sort of and the Vegas odds are buzzing that she will
Okay.
be the special guest because it's already kind of baked in. But there's also rumors that who I'm trying to find my notes here. He's collaborated with J Balvin. He's also collaborated and done stuff with Kendrick Lamar and Usher. So both of them have been Super Bowl performers. But there's also Drake and Mark Anthony have been in a conversation of who might be special guests. That would be interesting with the whole Drake Kendrick Lamar situation. So I don't know. It's a crapshoot, and I'll be really intrigued to see how it goes. I'm sure it will be a very entertaining performance, regardless.
I'm guessing so. Do you think we'll get a reference to maybe Happy Gilmore? Maybe Adam Sandler jumps out there
It's
because those
what?
he
Never.
was he was the caddy, right? And
Yeah.
Happy Gilmore, for those who saw that and didn't even know.
Yeah, never underestimate a Super Bowl halftime show.
No, not at all.
So I would not be surprised. But we also have, musical performances from Charlie Puth, who's doing the national anthem. Brandy Carlisle's doing America the Beautiful. Maybe we'll get a little Elton John appearance. I don't know, maybe. Coco Jones is singing Lift Every Voice and sings. When you want to go bet on the national anthem over or under from Charlie Puth, it'll be I don't know. I don't know his music. I don't know him well enough as a performer. I know his music, but not
Mhm.
well enough as a performer to know if he's a Whitney Houston where we're gonna be here for,
12 minutes.
yeah, exactly, or I'm trying to remember who the shortest one is. I forget. I'll have to look that real quick, but, we'll get that at the bottom there. So it'll be really
Yes.
interesting to see what that looks like.
That's a
So
great way to start off the game too, with
stay
the
tuned.
national anthem. Stay
That's
tuned.
right. Stay tuned. Now, beyond the Super Bowl halftime show, obviously, the reason it's Apple Music sponsored is it brings in TV ratings. The halftime show last year, we had 133.5 million people watching the halftime show. The Super Bowl itself averaged 127.7 million viewers. And so it's truly like a third of the country is watching this at the same time, and that doesn't happen.
No, not in it where we have all these streaming apps and you can watch whatever you want at any time. Everyone's tuned into the halftime performance. And I will like to see the streaming numbers after the performance for Bad Bunny, like how much it goes off in the second half. Like,
Where it
everyone,
drops,
yeah,
basically.
yeah, everyone, you may not even know who he is. And everyone's going to go to their Spotify's and Apple Music's and push play.
Yeah, it'll be really interesting to see or like what happens offline if people don't even watch it and they wait to watch it on YouTube. But I'm gonna guess the NFL, just like a lot of other productions, the day after Monday it will come out.
Absolutely.
I wish Monday was a holiday in all fairness.
It
Uh,
should be. That's been
y-
a long standing thing for someone could run a president and make the day after Super Bowl a holiday. I think they'd win hands
yeah,
down.
for sure. Okay, so if we're gonna fire up a sports fan this week and we want to really dive into the conversation, what are we gonna talk about?
Commercials are the real competition.
This is true. They are so expensive. A 30-second ad is up toward $10 million. It's up 43% in just 4 years. Like, it's just blown it away. And the amount of money that companies are spending on the Super Bowl commercial a couple years ago, there were the trend of it was a little bit more, like, done in-house. It was fan featured, whatever that might be. They were normal actors. Not anymore. It's like, how many celebs can you cram into one commercial? And I alluded to this, but this might be my favorite one I've seen thus far. It's Kendall Jenner in an ad for FanDuel, and she's talking about the Kardashian curse.
Uh-huh.
And she's walking through this big mansion, and she's talking about how, they say that there's a Kardashian curse that people we date,
Uh-huh.
basically have a bad season or fall off the radar or some things like that. And she goes through and she's like, this, how do you think I paid for this mansion? How do you think I paid for this boat? Because she bets on these people as they go through it. And it's like, to me, that I love the humor in that, because I think a Super Bowl commercial is pretty funny and relatable. And I'm not saying that like my in-laws will know who Kendall Jenner is, but for
Well,
the majority of the people watching, they will know who she is too.
and no one's been able to capitalize on anything involving their name better than the Kardashians Jenner clan. So,
100%.
and we don't believe that there's anyone on either roster that is falling into this curse, to the best of our knowledge.
The best of my knowledge, no. I kind of did a little light research, and so I don't believe so. So it'll be interesting, but I mean, it's kind of also come to the point too where we're leaking commercials ahead of
Yeah.
time now versus
Do you like that, or would you rather wait and see?
that's the thing.
Because then there's people who already know that they're coming out and they can like brag and watch this. I've already seen this.
Well, it's like the Guy Fieri thing that kind of went viral of like it was him as, blonde, spiky Guy Fieri, and then it's like normal Guy Fieri, and it was like, oh, he's turning this age, he's got a makeover. And you're like, what is this? And turns out it's a, for a Super Bowl commercial.
Yeah.
And so, but I guess I haven't looked, to be honest. I haven't looked to see for the commercial. I like when they kind of leak little bits. Like the one that really got me on the Kardashian one was a social media conversation between her and her ex Devin Booker, where he made a comment that like the Seahawks are going to get a ring before you do. And then she just responds with like, how's your ankle? And so I'm sure he was probably in on it at somewhere point, but
Absolutely. Yeah.
I love the tease, which I think is smart. I don't want to see the whole commercial.
No, bits and pieces, like a
Bits and
movie
pieces.
preview, like when people used to go to the theaters and they'd have trailers.
Right. So we
Yeah.
have Sabrina Carpenter and Emma Stone are making their Super Bowl ad debuts. We have ads featuring Ben Stiller and Benson Boone together, Chloe Kim and TJ Oshie, who are both Winter Olympians. Remember, this is Super Bowl Sunday. Well, Friday of that weekend is the opening ceremonies for the Olympics. So there's a lot happening. We'll obviously have the trifecta of Peyton Manning, Post Malone, and Shane Gillis back for their beer commercials. And so there's going to be a lot to watch, and I'm super excited about that.
So I think that's like the new Three Amigos, Peyton, Post, and Shane, like the
Right.
oddest gathering of human beings you could ever put in a commercial.
But it's somehow it works. So
It does.
also, that this weekend, the best part about the Super Bowl is the food. It's the second highest calorie day in America after Thanksgiving. The average person eats 11,000 calories, which is probably another reason not to go to a Super Bowl party.
Correct.
Make it at home. But I'm just going to run us through a little bit here. 1.3 billion chicken wings consumed on Super Bowl, 325 million gallons of beer. Although I'll be intrigued if that number goes down since we hear that alcohol consumption is down.
Mm-hmm.
200 million pounds of avocados, 88 million pounds of cheese. I also believe that Super Bowl Sunday might be National Pizza Day.
Yeah. Why not?
So, I mean, tie it all in.
Yeah. I mean, that's why you wear some kind of stretchy pants, no jeans, no tight belts, nothing like that. That's an amateur move. So make sure if you take anything from this, sweatpants or leggings.
That's exactly it. Okay, I want us to touch really quickly because it's going to come up in betting. If you're at a Super Bowl party, you might be playing like the Squares game where you go and pick the score at the end of the end of each quarter. But talk to me about, we have, you can bet on the coin toss winner, you can bet on Gatorade color. Like, talk to me just a tiny bit about Super Bowl betting for those who don't know a lot about it.
A majority of the excitement with bets of the Super Bowl are going to be prop bets, which do not have anything to do with like the actual outcome of who's going to win the game or how many points are scored. They're individual things like national anthem length, coin toss, Gatorade color, things like that really don't have any outcome on the game, are going to be the most exciting ones for people to bet on if they'd like.
And before we move on, like for the record, Alicia Keys has the longest national anthem. Neil Diamond has the shortest. And if you want more of a sports 101, it's on our website. And so I'll actually move that to the homepage. And so it's really obvious up there that's a sports betting 101. And so it gives you a heads up if that's something that you're going to a party that the people are really into, just to give you enough, once again, to be dangerous. So I want us to dive into, if you don't have a team to cheer for this week, I don't have a team to cheer for this week. So give me something to cheer. Give me who I'm supposed to cheer for.
Never judge a book by its cover.
Okay. Dive into that for me.
So we have a few great examples of this. One of my favorite players in the league at this moment, Matt Collins, the Matt Collins effect.
Okay.
Max
He's
Hacks.
the shirtless guy, like in the winter.
He's been known to go shirtless. He is a barefoot person. He doesn't wear shoes.
Okay, except on the
So,
field.
yes, and he's a receiver for the Patriots. And I think the only time he does wear shoes is when he has to wear cleats on the field.
Mhm.
And he's become known as an internet sensation. He has Max Hacks, which on Instagram, he gives you, certain tips kind of to make life easier around the house, certain things. I think, what was it? Ice in the dryer
Yes,
helps
that was gonna say there was a
remove
laundry
wrinkles.
one you sent me, yes.
So he's got, if you haven't looked, go to his Instagram page. He's going to make your life a lot easier. He gives you a ton of hacks. It's wonderful. He's become like a wonderful personality off the field.
We need to partner him with, like, I want him and Martha Stewart to be in a Super Bowl commercial. Somebody, like, get
That
on
would be
that.
lovely. That would be
Or
very
like
lovely.
Babs or one of those, like, online personalities that does home stuff.
Yeah. So if you haven't looked, go to his Instagram, learn a lot how to make life easier. He also does history. He does science. He's just a wonderful creature, and
It's fantastic.
not just a football player. He's expanded his horizons for sure.
Okay, so we have Mac
Mhm.
Collins, and I think he probably does it on TikTok too. Yep, I'm looking at it right now. He has a TikTok account as well with
Okay.
$250,000. So, I mean, I'm watching a science one right now.
Yes, you're gonna learn a lot. Life's gonna be a lot easier thanks to Matt Collins.
Well, thanks for his Mac hacks. Now we have 2 coaches that are totally opposite,
Mhm.
and I love the story of both of them. So
Yes.
start me off with Mike Vrabel, who is the head coach of the Patriots. He's been there for 2 seasons, came over from the Titans. Talk to me about Mike Vrabel because we have 2 Mikes.
Mike and Mike, and these are two very different Mikes who took two very different paths to reach the Super Bowl as head coaches. As you mentioned, Mike Vrabel is just a football guy. He went to Ohio State. He's won 3 Super Bowls with the Patriots. He's caught
As a
touchdowns
player.
for as a player, and he played linebacker, which is on defense, and he also has caught touchdown passes in the Super Bowl on offense. So he has basically done everything you could possibly do in the National Football League. He's in the Patriots Hall of Fame as a player, and now he's the head coach. I think he might be the first, if he does happen to win, the first person who's played for the team to lead them to a Super Bowl as a head coach as well.
Yeah, so the
So,
player first one to win the Super Bowl as a player and a coach for the same franchise.
so his football pedigree on the field is like unmatched. And Titans fans, hit mute real quick. I just want to give a little fact.
Do it.
Since he was fired by the Titans, the Patriots have won more games since December moving forward than the Titans have won since they fired him. So that is
Well, he's a
so in the
catalyst.
basically in the past month, they've won more games than the Titans have since they let
That's
him go.
interesting. Well, and it really seems like the players really respect him, and here's why I like him as a female in
Mhm.
sports. What I love about him is he always has a female reporter ask the first question in his
Mhm.
press conferences. There aren't many of them. There's more than there used to be, but he always
Yes.
has a female reporter ask the first question. And I love that. And Drake May has started doing that in his press conferences because his coach does it. And so I love that he's setting this example of just an opportunity for everyone. And I think that's kind of the vibe you get from his players that he really does believe in them
Mhm.
and he believes in the best of them. And so I think that's really cool to see. So we have Mike Vrabel with his legacy and experience. And then we have Mike McDonald for the Seahawks, who never even played in a college football.
This is the extreme other path. He blew out his knee in high school and realized he probably wasn't going to, recover and become this star football player. So he actually started coaching in high school. So he's been grinding as a coach off, on the sidelines since then. And that kind of led him at, 38, one of the youngest head coaches to ever make it to the Super Bowl. And his path has been, just relentless work as a coach, not necessarily an athlete. And his ability to commit and watch film and relate to his guys is really shows on the field that someone who'd actually never played college could gain the respect of, a locker room of NFL players.
I mean, it's pretty amazing that, if we have Drake as a guest at the halftime, but it's like he started from the bottom, like literally
Yes.
a high school assistant football coach to
Yes.
now being here in this Super Bowl at age 38, which is absolutely phenomenal. And he's like bet on himself, which I think is really cool.
Absolutely. Yeah. Just to kind of give you an insight on how much work he does, he kind of got some backlash for this, but there was an interview where, he said that throughout the week he only gets to spend about 30 minutes with his, I think he's a 1-year-old child, and he sees him for about 30 minutes on Thursday. And that's about
I
it. So
see both sides
that's
of
what
it.
it takes to, become such a high level coach at such a young age, unfortunately.
Well, maybe, as a parent, that 1-year-olds will not need him as much as the 13-year-old who will need him more. So maybe that's he gets it invested now, and then that way he can be prepared with a
Yeah.
little extra time off when he gets
And
older.
and if ooh, one more, and if the Seahawks win, I'm sure his child will be there with headphones on and will become like the viral sensation of the entire Super Bowl should they
Kids
win.
in kids in headphones, the best.
Yes,
The tiny human loves to wear his to Golden Knights games, so it's the best.
absolutely.
Now, I wanna leave us with, and this is a fun one for conversation at a Super Bowl party,
Mhm,
especially if you have friends who are, a little more earthy, a little more, into their well-being. There is this rumor that Levi Stadium, which happens to be hosting the Super Bowl,
mhm.
which is the home of the 40, it is they're calling it the San Francisco Super Bowl, but the stadium is actually 40 miles away. But there's this rumor that there's this power plant next to the facility, that it has this electromagnetic field that's running through it. So Levi Stadium's, like, in all intents and purposes, very green. They have a garden on and all kinds of stuff. But yet now we have this electromagnetic field that's coming in and allegedly weakening players' bones and tendons and reducing their collagen. So talk to me a little bit, like, what an interesting conversation to be able to have with someone at a party too.
Absolutely, and this is like the great sports debate that has really doesn't have an answer.
Mm-mm.
The 49ers have suffered, all their star players have suffered like catastrophic injuries. And we had, I blanking on his name, someone go in there with like an EMF reader and read like
It was like, yep,
the amount of electricity coming off the plant. And he's saying that that's reducing like the tendon and the bones
and their
and like,
collagen, and it's next to their practice facility and the stadium, so it's all right there.
yes. And although no one can actually really prove any of this at this moment, the 49ers have had to take this very seriously. It was like a viral Twitter post, I think, and now the 49ers are having to address this in press conferences and players are being asked about it. So this is like the endless debate or discussion if you want to have it at the Super Bowl party.
It's happening that all these players are getting hurt. It's like, you
Yes.
either it's the nutrition, it's the trainer. What is it? But it seems odd that all of them are getting hurt. So I'm super intrigued to see what comes of this. So there's your last fun fact
Yes.
for this Super Bowl, and it's a little sneaky trivia that always certainly surprises people. And the fact that it's not actually in San Francisco is also
Yeah,
theirs.
absolutely. That's a
I
go-to.
think Thank you for giving us everything that we need for Super Bowl Sunday. I always love this episode because I learned so much from you. I mean, every episode I do as well, but it's so much. It's like whether you're watching the halftime show, the commercials, or just here for the snacks. Hopefully, we gave you that opportunity to steal stories, repeat fun facts, and remember that you don't need to love football to enjoy the Super Bowl or really the football season. That's what we're here for. So you just need a few things to say, and make sure we've got all of this in our notes, things about prop bets and all the things that you might need. And I'll put the link in the show notes as well to the sports betting 101 if that's something you are interested in. So thank you, Scott, for joining me today. Thank you for listening. Please, of course, don't forget to subscribe if you want to hear us every week, especially with Olympic and Super Bowl coverage happening. Thanks for joining us.